my god, I gotta make sure my fat belly don't show. Hold on, let me not do that. I know I just had a baby, but it's still a self-conscious thing. Welcome to part 3 of my story time of when my friends stole my car. Part 1 was basically telling you guys about the whole situation, how essentially they got a hold of my car, how they stole it. Part 2 was how the situation was handled and rectified. You know, I had to swoop up in and take matters into my hands and really boss up and try to fix my life, okay? And now we're on to part 3. Part 3, I told you, if you guys have ever been bullied, this, I don't know if this is gonna trigger you, but it might, because I really feel like this was like a bullying situation, you know, like it's just been non-stop. So anyway, part 1 and part 2 is going to be in the description box below. If you're on this video and you stumbled across this video, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not really gonna understand like why everything is happening if you don't watch part 1 and part 2 of the story time. Like I said, hopefully like this is a learning lesson for other people. Don't trust people the way that I have trusted people. If you see any signs of the people that I'm dealing with and people that you know, stay away from them. You know, it's always a learning lesson to my story time, so there's that. But I have on my phone a list of things that they did to me after. Y'all saw we ended part 2 with the fact that they essentially said that they were gonna sue me. Sue me, and they was texting me and like, you know, just be real nasty, like, oh, I'm petty, I'm coming after you, you know, like you messed up my family stuff. Like they was trying to extort money out of me. Like, you think I'm scared? I flew by myself from Toronto to New York to handle a situation by myself, okay? You think that I'm scared of you coming after me, you suing me, or you, even if you was deciding to come after me, you think I'm scared of you? I'm still not scared of you. At the end of the day, my feelings are hurt because we were friends, but I'm not scared. And that's that. We're gonna start off. So that ended, that was like what, January of 2017, okay? I didn't get to finally I feel like really stop dealing with them until the end of 2018. After I got those text messages and stuff like that, you would think I'm back in Toronto, they're still in New York City, like we don't need to communicate, we don't need to be, you know, like have any type of communication whatsoever. If you're gonna sue me, have somebody serve me the papers, do what you gotta do, whatever, you know. Shoot, I was looking at trying to sue them, but for me in the end it just wouldn't make sense. I don't know how to go about that process. I didn't know anybody that could help me go about that process. And like for me, I was planning a wedding. I had to, you know, like I have so many other good things going on. I don't want to go back to some BS and like use so much energy and negativity and like be absorbed with that stuff. So I just was like, you know what, I'm done, I'm letting it go. Because they were my friends, I partied a lot and I like to have events and birthday events and like to have fun and go on trips and stuff like that. I have my core girls and we're not a group. I have my relationships with each of my girlfriends like very strong individually, and then we can all hang out and have a good time. So anytime I had events or we would go like out clubbing, I would invite my close friends, and I considered Kaka and Pipi to be part of like my close friends, as well as Annie. So Annie, Kaka, and Pipi, and then there was another girl, Teta. Kaka, Pipi, Annie, and Teta I knew from basically from work. I mixed them with my girls that I knew from high school and college whenever we would go out to like, you know, parties and clubs, and if I would have like a birthday event, they would come as well. So they kind of knew each other. They all followed each other on social media. Just to give you a background on who Teta is, now that this person has come along, Teta, this is the first time you're hearing about her. She was also a mutual friend of Kaka and Pipi and me and Annie. We all, like I said, we all work together. That's like my work people, right? Teta, at that point, she had already moved back to California. She had came to New York from California. She worked there for a while. That's how we all became friends, and she had moved back to California. So she wasn't in the whole situation like that, but she was at the same time, because I think Annie had told me that Kaka and Pipi called Teta and was like talking to her about the situation. And I know at one point me and her spoke, and we spoke about the situation a little bit. Like she was on some like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to pick sides or whatever, like you could tell me whatever you want, or but like we didn't really talk about it because I just felt like she's closer to Kaka and Pipi, so I didn't really talk about the situation with her. But I know for a fact they talked about the situation to her because Annie told me. Okay, so now that we know who that is, so we're still in 2017. That whole situation happened in January. We have these mutual friends. My understanding is when you're not friends with somebody anymore, especially when it gets nasty like that, you leave their friends alone. We're mutual friends, but not really. Like the girls that I introduced to Kaka, Teta, Pipi, and Annie, they only hung out when I was around. They only chilled when I was around. They didn't talk, they didn't communicate unless it was a like or a comment on a picture or tweet or whatever. They didn't really hang out. So now that y'all did me dirty, I would expect that you leave my friends alone, and I will do the same to you. Okay, which I did. Like I unfollowed everybody that I knew. Like I knew Kaka's brother, I knew Kaka's best friend, I knew his daughter, you know, like I unfollowed all of them, and I blocked them and unblocked them so they can unfollow me, because it makes no sense. We're not gonna hang out, we don't need to continue being friends, you know what I'm saying? Okay, please comment, let me know if I'm bugging on that situation. And this is gonna be a really long video because I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 situations that these people have bullied me on. Well, not necessarily bullied, but just like really been a bother to my existence since that situation happened with the car. I don't know exactly what time frame this happened in 2017, but this was one of the first circumstances that made me realize, like, bro, we have separate friends and you need to leave my friends alone, just like I left your friends alone. Kaka worked at the Barclays Center, and the Barclays Center is like Madison Square Garden, you know, like a basketball place. One of my best friends, she went with her man to the Barclays Center for a basketball game. Now Kaka worked there, and Kaka, I guess, noticed them. How? I don't know how. Out of, you know, thousands of people go to these games. I don't know. Maybe he saw on their social media and then was looking for them. Guarantee that's what happened. He saw them, and me and my best friend, that's my best friend or whatever, she knows the situation, she knew everything that happened. I didn't tell her like, hey, I don't want you to be friends with this person. You know, I felt like, obviously, one, I didn't have to tell her because loyalty, hello. And number two, I would just also assume that Kaka and Pipi and would stay away from my friends anyway. She was there with her man, and her man also knew of Kaka and Pipi, and I don't know if he knew the situation, which I assume he probably did, because why would my best friend not tell her man? You know, he knows me and all of that stuff. They're at the Barclays Center, they're watching the game. Apparently Kaka goes up to them and says hello. He goes out of his way. He's one of those people, I think, tells people where to sit and stuff like that. He goes out of his way. His section was a completely other section. Out of his way, finds them, goes to them, says hello, okay, and then asks them if they want to be moved to another area in the stadium. From my understanding, my best friend told me that they said no, that they declined it or whatever. Obviously Kaka was trying to make small talk with my friend's boyfriend, which I like, literally he has no loyalty to me. Like, we're only cool because of my best friend. You get what I'm saying? You see the loyalty situation that I'm trying to explain here? I guess they respectfully declined or whatever. Y'all don't need to be rude to them. But my thing is, it's like, Kaka, why did you even need to find my friends, approach them? Why did you need to offer them better seating? Why are you doing that? You know, like, y'all not friends. Y'all only know each other through me. Like, you didn't have to say anything. And even if you did say something, you could have just said hello. You didn't have to do all that and make it seem like they was really trying to, like, you know, like basically get better seats out of you. Like, you didn't have to do that, because later on down the line I had a conversation with Pipi. We had a big old argument, which I'm gonna get to, and she tried to throw in the fact that my friends was asking Kaka for better seats. That's the bullshit, because guess what, I confirmed it. That's the bullshit. It's like, this is the stuff that I'm talking about, the lies, the constant lies. Obviously my best friend's gonna come back and tell me. I was very annoyed by it, but I left it alone. You know, like, what is the point? I don't need to reach out to Kaka, I don't need to reach out to Pipi. I think I vented about it to Annie, and of course Annie, the thing about Annie made it seem like, I don't want to throw her under the bus here, because if the people that I'm talking about are watching, they know exactly who I'm talking about. But I'm gonna keep it real. Annie made it very clear that she was on my side. She agreed with me 100%, that she understood exactly where I was coming from every single time I spoke to her. And she even had her little bits to say about Gaga as well. So I was very comfortable talking to Annie about, you know, my feelings towards them and how I feel about the situation, just overall in general. And my thing is like, when it comes to something like this, a mutual friend that's involved in like feud or whatever, I'm not naive, I'm not stupid. If I'm able to talk to you about the situation and you're listening and you're, you know, talking to me about it as well, and not only talking to me about it, but like essentially quote unquote talking shit as well, you're gonna probably be doing the same thing on the other end. But she was like the only person who knew Gaga and Bibi the way that I knew them. She was just very listening and understanding, whatever, that she made it seem like I could talk to her about this stuff. And I just needed to vent, because I just felt like nobody really understood like her, because like I said, like she was agreeing with me and she was like saying like these things like, he has bad credit, like why, you know, I wouldn't have done that, like that's really messed up, that's real foul, like that's fucked up, like you know what I'm saying. But like I said, I'm not naive, so I feel like obviously I knew that if she was talking to me about them, she was talking to them about me. I know some of you are probably like, well, if you knew that about Annie, like why are you still friends with her or whatever. Me and Annie, we were very close friends. I felt like she was going back talking about me to them just like she was talking about them to me. I don't know. It's not a big deal, I guess. Or maybe I just felt like she was a good friend. I didn't want to lose another friend in this whole stupid ass process because of something Gaga did to me. I don't know. I guess I don't really have an answer to that. Like, I feel like it just would have got extra messy to like try to cut her off. And the way that when we spoke, like she really made it seem like she was on my side, even though I wasn't like naive. You know, in the back of your head you still feel like, oh, you know, like there's good in people, like she's on your side. She would come to Toronto and visit me, and like we would hang out all the time, and like she really made it seem like we were friends, and like she wasn't even like messing with them like that, which obviously is not true, because they still, even to this day, call each other bro and sis or whatever. So whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing, the next situation. Since we was talking about Annie, and that's why I got into all of this about Annie. Annie hangs out with Gaga and Bibi still. They went out to, I think it was a birthday brunch, I believe it was, for Bibi. This was the first time Annie was going to bring her boyfriend around Gaga and Bibi, and I specifically remember this because we had a conversation about it, and I remember specifically Annie saying like, oh, I bet once they meet my man, they're gonna try to get his Instagram real quick, you know, they be feeding for friends or whatever and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah girl, like you better watch out, blah 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 blah. They went to the thing. Obviously afterwards we speak. They asked for his Instagram and his social media, and they all follow each other now, or whatever. Or supposedly her man wasn't gonna follow them back, but of course he did, because like I said, I'm pretty sure it was like just talking a good game, but whatever. Annie also tells me that they started talking about like the times that we used to all party together, because a few years before that we all used to like party hard like together. Like we would go clubbing like every weekend, get like super drunk and lit and turned up like every weekend. Like, you know, it was like a bunch of us from my job that we all used to hang out, and Gaga, me, Bibi, Teta, Annie, and like a bunch of other people just always used to like be out partying. So they was reminiscing about those times, and she said obviously they brought my name up. I don't remember like about what or what story they was telling, but they was talking about me being in the story, and she was saying that they was talking about me as if we were still friends. It wasn't, obviously they wasn't saying nothing bad about me, they was just talking about me as if we were still friends. And that was really weird to me, because I just felt like, bro, after all the messed up things that you did to me, our horrible conversations back and forth, the fact that you're talking about you're gonna sue me and I owe you money and all of this stuff, why even talk about me at all? Like, why even bring my name up at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could omit me from that story, you could omit me from that conversation, you could act like I never existed, because essentially that's what I was trying to do with you. The only time I spoke about you was with Annie. I was a little bit confused. Okay, so that was the second situation. This is me letting you guys understand how I was constantly being brought up in their little lives. And this is the times that I know about essentially through Annie, and I'm pretty sure there's so many other times that it has happened, but I don't know. So now the third thing, this is where it starts getting real nasty and real messy. Okay, I told you about Teta. Teta lived in California at this point. Teta obviously was aware of the situation. Did I talk to her about it? No, I didn't need to. Like I said, I felt like she was closer to Kaka and Pipi than me. Me and Trevor was getting married. Now we're into, so all of that has happened in 2017. All right, it was pretty, you know, I'm thinking like, you know what, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure something else happened where they mentioned me or brought me up or whatever, and I can't remember, but we're gonna move on to 2018. 2018 comes and me and Trevor are getting married. We got married on June 29th, 2018. Amazing wedding, and I had a lot of guests that I could have invited. I paid for 175 people. I could have invited 175 people. I invited only 150 people. And even that was pushing it because I didn't need that many people. Like, honestly, I could have invited like 75 people and been cool with it. But the venue that I had, I was so in love with it, and I was in love with the people, and I was in love with everything. For me, it was more important to get the type of venue and look that I wanted for my wedding than necessarily the amount of people who's coming and blah blah blah. Probably had to have been like January. I think we sent out the save the dates, and then a couple of months later we sent out the actual invitation. Teta, because she lived in California, because she was closer to Kaka and Pipi, I didn't really talk to her that much, and I was kind of like thinking like, you know what, I should fall back because she's closer to them than me. Like, why continue on and push a relationship if we didn't speak like that anyway? She wound up reaching out to me and sending me a really nice text message like, hey, congratulations, you know, you're getting married, blah blah blah. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a pretty nice message. And originally I wasn't gonna invite her to the wedding. Like, that's 100% honest, because we didn't talk like that. And like I said, for the trillionth time, she was closer to Kaka and Pipi than I was. She knew the situation, and I felt like she was automatically going to take their side without even caring to listen to me about it and like judge me, because that's the type of person she is. She's a judger. And you know, it's weird to me. Like, I don't like being friends with people that are friends with my enemies. It was no love lost if we was not to be friends. But she sent me this really nice message, and I remember thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what, we were really cool friends. At one point I thought we were closer than she was with Kaka and Pipi, but then I guess at some point that changed. But I'm like, you know what, she really has nothing to do with the situation. We all met at the same time. It seems like she's being neutral. It seems like she's genuinely happy for me. I'm gonna invite her to the wedding. I have extra people that I could invite anyway. It would probably be really nice for her to come to New York and see Annie and me as well, and like, you know, whatever. So I invited her to the wedding. Okay, obviously that was a mistake. She said she was really excited to come. For her, she said it gave her a reason to come back to New York and see her friends and all of this stuff. So I was like, cool, there's that. I'm excited you're coming also. She comes to the wedding. I'm thinking like everything is cool, everything is copacetic or whatever. You know, I don't really have time to like really talk and chat with her, but it was nice seeing her face. I thought that was really nice of her to come out her way from California all the way to New York to come to my wedding, you know. Now I find out after I came back from my honeymoon, which we was gone for like 2.5 weeks, that Teta came to my wedding, and she was planning to go to a brunch the next day. So I got married on a Friday, and she was planning to have a brunch on Saturday, and she was planning to invite Kaka, Pipi, Annie, you know, the people that she knows from work, like all these other people that we used to hang out and party with all the time. At my wedding, Teta goes up to one of my bridesmaids, and this is one of my bridesmaids that's very social. Like, she knows all my bridesmaids, well, almost all of them. So does Annie, so does Kaka, so does Pipi. They know my bridesmaids because, like I said, when I have these events, everybody would be there and everybody would mingle, obviously, and have a good time. But there's one of my bridesmaids who's extremely social, and she's like super friendly. Like, she gets cool with everybody, you know. She's like me, like she gets cool with everybody. But I think people really take to her, like people really take to me. They think like they're closer to her than they probably are. My bridesmaid comes and tells me that at my wedding, Teta went up to her and said, hey, I'm having a brunch tomorrow. Do you want to come to the brunch? Obviously, I believe, I could be wrong, but either way, we already know that Kaka and Pipi was going to be there. So I believe she asked, and or maybe she didn't. I I think she asked who was coming, and obviously she said all these other people and Kaka and Pipi. She's like the usual, whatever. My thing is, why would you invite my bridesmaid, my best friend, at my wedding to a brunch with people that did me so dirty and so wrong and so nasty? Okay, you're trying to mix my friend that never ever hung out with you. My friend, my bridesmaid, never hung out with Teta or Kaka or Pipi without me. So now you're trying to invite her to this brunch without me, because obviously you're not going to invite me, because number one, I wouldn't go even if I wasn't going on my honeymoon. But at my wedding, to me, that was so messy, and that pissed me off so bad. I was infuriated when I found out, because it's like, bro, this is my day to celebrate me and my love, that you supposedly came out here to hang out with me for my wedding on my wedding day, and you're going to invite my best friend to hang out the next day after my wedding with people that did me so fucking dirty. Even if you don't know how dirty it got, you know that the situation got really bad, and you know that we are no longer friends anymore. How messy are you? That right there made me feel like, damn, I shouldn't have invited her to my wedding. God damn, I made another big mistake. God damn, I don't need to be her friend no more, so I'm gonna fall back. Like, I don't need to talk to you no more. And I don't even think she bought me a gift for my damn wedding. So obviously, after I found that information out, I stopped talking to Teta. I did not care to be her friend no more. After that happened, I was obviously infuriated and pissed off, and I was just so over it. But I also started noticing that Kaka and Pipi was still following and liking my close friends' posts. My friends that they knew through me. My friends that they didn't hang out with unless I was around. They were still liking their pictures. They were still commenting on their photos. And that like pissed me off even more. It's like, bro, like, y'all did me so dirty. Like, can you just stay out of my life? Can you just stay away from me? Because at that point, my friends already unfollowed them. So I made a YouTube video, and I was messy, whatever, and it was called Dear Ex Friends. That will also be in the description box below. Now this is again where it keeps just getting messier and messier and messier. Okay, so I made that YouTube video, and I was talking about, well, you guys can go watch it, but I was talking about the fact that, bro, like, when we stop being friends, my mutual friends are not your friends anymore. Like, give it up, leave it alone. The beginning of the video though, I started off by saying something really like, damn, I don't know how to say this, like, dear ex-friends, like, you know, it's been taking me a really long time to say this, but fuck you, right? Like, it was a really, like, you know, one of those intros that draw you in. So I made that video. I thought it was really funny, and of course I shared it with Annie, because Annie just knew everything that was happening and everything that was going on down to the T. You know, she knew that Teta invited my bridesmaids to that brunch, and I was pissed off about it. Like, just all of this stuff, right? I showed her the video and I sent it to her. She thought it was hilarious. Okay, now this is where I felt that Annie was like starting to get like extremely messy. Like, I already thought she was messy, but like, she's going to get extremely messy. And she reposted that video on her story. Obviously, I don't follow Kaka and Pipi, and they don't follow me, so they wouldn't have seen the video. I'm pretty sure they wasn't following my YouTube channels, and if they did, that's on their own accord. But Annie knowing that I made that video specifically about Kaka and Pipi, and then for her to repost it on her story, I remember telling her, like, girl, you messy, and she just thought it was funny. She posted it, they saw it, and I feel like they started like talking shit. I can't remember how I know this, but I know they started talking shit about me for it, and I think it really pushed some buttons. And I say that because that was posted August 18th of 2018, after my honeymoon, after my wedding. Okay, after all of that, I remember I looked back at the video to see what date it was. That was then. I know in September, it was the middle of September, we was in Toronto. I know exactly what I was doing. I was driving home, and Trevor, he's like, yo, I gotta talk to you. And I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? He was just like annoyed. Like, he was so annoyed. I come home and he shows me this text message that he received from a fake number. Okay, this fake number decides to tell my new husband of 2 months or 3 months, or it's September, June, July, August, September, 3 months or whatever. My husband of 3 months, okay, that I slept with this actor, that I slept with this rapper, and that I slept with a friend, not Trevor's friend, but a friend of like he knows this person that I slept with or whatever, right? This was obviously it was during the times that me and Trevor wasn't together. Obviously Trevor knows about it, and if he didn't, he don't care, because guess what, we're married, we're husband and wife. It was a fake number. The fake number was a California area code. The only people that would know this information and go and tell my new husband this information from a fake message, because he responded back, then nobody responded. He called the number, nobody answered. It's a fake number, obviously. It's my enemies, it's people that don't like me, it's people that's trying to break up a happy home. So obviously I know it's either Caca or Pipi, and at this point I'm even thinking, god damn, Teta must be involved too, because it was a California number, and yeah, remember I told you Teta is from California. So I'm thinking, god damn, it's all three of them. All three of them are in on this shit, and they trying to break up my marriage. And this is where I'm like, bro, like, you're legit bullying me, because for you to come after, like, not only, okay, you want to come after me, you want to bother me, you want to harass me, but why are you trying to mess up, like, this is my life, you know what I'm saying? That I got married. Like, what if my husband really took that shit and was like, yo, I can't be with you no more, I can't marry you, let's go get divorced? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he did that? Like, you're really trying to break up my home, you're trying to break up my house and home. And this is where it just got so disgusting to me, and I started getting really sick of their shit. Okay, I called the number, they didn't answer, obviously, but my whole thing is like, now I don't even want to be bothered with like none of y'all. I didn't even really want to be bothered with Annie, because I'm just like, you're still tied to this, you're still messy, because I'm pretty sure that post that you posted on your story pushed their buttons to do something like this. And he was also giving me inside information, so it was kind of like, why not just still keep talking to her? Because also, like I said, I really did think we were genuinely friends. Also, she just was a messy bitch. But whatever. If Teta was not involved, which I thought she was 100%, if she was not involved, Gaga and Pipi damn sure made it seem like she was involved, because they used a California number. There's 50 states in America, and okay, you might not use a area code from New York City or New York, but why would you use an area code out of all the other 49 states? You're gonna choose California? So I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought, like, bro, like, they're setting you up if you're not a part of it. But because she just came to my wedding, I thought it would be great to just call her and ask her about this. Before I called her and asked her about it, I spoke to Annie, and guess what Annie told me? Annie told me that a few weeks before the wedding, before my wedding, a few weeks before my wedding, Annie and Teta was on the phone, and they was talking about me. Why were y'all talking about? I don't know. I don't know how or why my name came up. Maybe they was talking about going to the wedding. Apparently, Teta asked Annie, hey, does Trevor know about these guys that Leesa like messed around with or whatever? And Annie said, no, to my knowledge, I don't think so, or whatever she said. And Teta decided to bring it upon herself to say, well, don't you think he should know? Like, I mean, he's getting married to her. And according to Annie, it was, oh, well, I mean, according to her, she said, I don't know, maybe she did, maybe she didn't, I don't know, like, whatever, and kind of left it at that. According to Annie, in this conversation, Teta seemed concerned. She seemed like she just was worried about Trevor's well-being. And according to Annie, she didn't tell me because she just forgot about it and didn't want to stress me out before my wedding. And I'm just gonna leave that right there. You can take this how you want. That's why she didn't tell me about that situation. The thing happens at my wedding where Teta invites my friends to brunch with my enemies, and then I post a story, and then I guess they see it, it pushes their buttons, and then Trevor gets this random anonymous message about me, of trying to break up my happy home. So that's where I was really annoyed, and I said, Annie, I'm going to talk to Teta, because I feel like she has something to do with it. It's a California area code. I'm just gonna ask her, and no offense, and I know you probably don't want me to, but I'm gonna tell her that you told me about her asking about the situation. And she was like, yeah, okay, because I'm telling you, it came from a point of concern. And I'm like, I don't believe that, but okay. Like, obviously that's your friend and you're gonna try to look out for her, so there's that. I was so upset and so annoyed. It was really late that night, so I decided not to call at that time. I waited till the next morning. It was extremely early on her end because she was in California, and I mean, I don't remember what time it was. It probably was like 7 a.m. her time, but I was like so annoyed. I was trying to wait for her to, like, you know, like, I don't know, start her day or whatever, but I could not wait, and I was so annoyed. So I called her and I was just like, hey, I have a question for you. Did you text Trevor and tell him XYZ or whatever? And she was just like, huh, no. And I was like, okay, because Trevor got a message, and obviously there's only certain people that would know about it, and it came from a California number, so I'm just trying to confirm if that was you or not, whatever. And she was just like, no, it wasn't me. I don't know why you would think that. Like, I just came to your wedding or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine, bye. Hung up the phone. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't believe her, but I just still felt really funny about her. Anything I say about anybody, I'm not scared to say it to your face. I don't care who I say it to. I'm not scared to say it to your face. If I have a feeling towards you, I'm not afraid to talk to you about it or say it to you most of the time, you know, unless you're like really emotional and like you just talk too much and like I just don't want to deal with it like that. So I'm like, you know what, let me ask her about it. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you just came to my wedding. Like, how dare you? You know, she said it wasn't her. My head, I think you still had something to do with it, especially given the fact that you had that conversation with Annie 3 weeks before my wedding, or however many weeks before my wedding, okay? So that was, let's say, the first week in October. She did not hit me up until like the end of October, early November, talking about, hey, you have a chance, like, we need to talk. I have to talk to you. And I was like, okay, whatever, what up, what's up? So she calls me and she was like, I didn't like how you came at me and you sat there and you accused me of sending this message to Trevor. Like, why would I do that when I came to your wedding and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't accuse you. I asked you. Second of all, you should be lucky that I asked you instead of just like not fucking with you. Like, I came to you like a normal person should, would, and I asked you face to face. I didn't sit here and start talking shit behind your back. And number three, hello, did you not have a conversation with Annie about me and my personal life and my personal vagina doings? Like, what possessed you to have that conversation with her? You know, and then all of a sudden after my wedding, this happens. He gets this message about exactly what y'all had a conversation about. Like, that shit does not add up if you telling me that you wasn't a part of it. Obviously, I had to ask you, but it's just so annoying talking about it. So she called me. She already had an attitude when she called me, and I'm not a person to just like let up. My thing was like, bro, I asked you because obviously I felt like you had something to do with it. You had a conversation. Why you had that conversation about me? You being messy, like you are part of it or whatever. But like, I asked you and you told me you didn't, and that's that. Oh, but I feel like you shouldn't even have asked me that question. That's what she's saying to me. You shouldn't have asked me that question. I flew all the way to New York to come to your wedding. But why are you even talking about me then? Like, what was the purpose of talking about me? And then next thing you know, Trevor has this information or text message or whatever the hell. Like, for what? What was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason? I would love to know. I'm so confused, okay? So we're kind of going back and forth because I could tell she has an attitude. I'm getting like a little attitude because I'm just annoyed because it's like, this was a whole month ago that we had this conversation. You still thinking about it? If you was thinking about it and you felt some type of way, you should have hit me up the next day or a couple of days later or even the next week. But you're gonna wait till the end of the month, or you're gonna wait however many weeks later? Like, I don't even care no more. You know, like, we're done. We've been moved past that, okay? My marriage is still intact. Yeah, y'all didn't do nothing. So what's the point of this conversation? And clearly you trying to be all big and bad and call me out and be on some, oh, you shouldn't have asked me that. I came to your wedding. But yeah, you was also talking shit about me before my wedding, and on top of it, you was being messy at my wedding, and now you think you in the right? Like, you should be lucky I even asked you. So I was like, well, you have your opinion, I have my opinion, and that's that, you know? And she's just like, nah. And I'm like, you have your opinion and I have my opinion, and that's that. Like, that's that. Like, that's it. So when we hung up the phone, like, my expectation was we're not friends no more. Like, I don't need to be associated with anybody like that. You know, I don't appreciate how you came at me. I don't appreciate how you was talking about me before my wedding. I don't appreciate how you invited my friends to a brunch with my enemies, knowing that that's messy as fuck because y'all don't ever hang out without me. So like, I don't appreciate it. I don't need to be your friend no more. She wound up, yes, so she did wind up messaging me, like, that was like, let's say October-ish or whatever, early November. I think she wound up messaging me like December, I don't remember when, no, sometime in November, before, maybe before Thanksgiving, or I don't know, but she was asking me like if I was okay because she heard Toronto had like a big ass snowstorm or some nonsense, and I just ignored her. And then she hit me up a couple days later like, hey, did you get my message? And I ignored her because I don't care to be your friend no more. I didn't like how you came at me. I didn't like how messy you were. And at the end of the day, like I said, you're friends with my enemies and you're closer to them than you are to me. So it's a dub on that. I don't need to be associated with you, and that's that. Bring it back to Thanksgiving time in 2018. This is still the same freaking like time frame. You know, Annie knows all the situations that's happening. She knew each conversation. Like I recorded the conversation with me and Teta when she called me back or whatever, and we had that back and forth, and I let Annie hear it. And she still tried to claim that Annie was being like talking in good faith about Trevor's well-being and him knowing the circumstance, which is like, I don't understand why you so concerned about my husband and what he knows about me. Because are you in this relationship? Are you sleeping with me? Are you sleeping with him? Do you even hang out with him without me? Do you hit him up to see how he's doing? Are y'all friends? Like, if I ask him, the answer is no. So I don't get it. Thanksgiving comes around, cooking dinner. Trevor's away for work, and I'm cooking dinner for my friends. My friends are over, we're having a good time. I'm drinking. I am basically drunk, okay? I get a message from Annie, and it is a screenshot of Gaga and or Pipi, one of them or both of them, commenting under my maid of honor's picture. I can't remember what they said. It was just something like really simple, like oh, that's cute. Like, it was something so it was something so dumb. But Annie sent me the screenshot, and I was drunk, and I remember Annie saying like, oh, like they still commenting under your friend's stuff or something like that. And like I said, all my close friends, like, they all unfollowed Gaga and Pipi at this point. So I was annoyed, especially dealing with what I just dealt with Teta, dealing with what I just dealt with the text message, with the whole brunch thing. Just I'm just so tired of hearing Gaga and Pipi and like talking about me and like the whole situation. Like, I despise them. I despise them. So when I saw that, I commented, and I was like, why are you commenting under my friend's pictures? She doesn't even follow you. And that just spiraled out of control because the New York came out in me, the ghetto, the hood came out in me, and we started going back and forth, me and Pipi, because all of a sudden Pipi got some balls, and she, you know, she was feeling herself that night or whatever, and she decided, oh, that's what it was. Gaga said something, and I commented like, bro, like, why, like, not bro, obviously not bro, but like, yo, like, leave my friends alone. Why you still commenting on their stuff? Like, they don't even follow you. Like, get a life. Or it wasn't to that extreme. It was just more like, leave them alone. Like, why you still commenting on their stuff? And then Pipi decides to jump in, and Pipi decides to go back and forth with me. And oh god, when it comes to like, I could just go on and on. Like you're not getting the last word with me. I can go on and on. So we gonna start arguing, and we're legit arguing on Thanksgiving under my best friend's picture, and we're going back and forth, and she's like, oh, you're whack, blah blah blah, like, who even knows that they're not following? Like, who cares? Like, so what? It's just a picture, it's just a comment. And I'm like, no, you look pathetic. Y'all look pathetic. Y'all keep commenting and liking all my friends' stuff, and they don't even fuck with y'all. Like, they know the situation. Like, they not cool with y'all. Like, y'all was never friends. Like, leave them alone. You know, I was definitely drunk, and I was really annoyed because, like I said, like, at this point I just feel like I'm constantly being bullied, and like, y'all just won't leave me alone. Like, I don't understand. We're going back and forth, and then I think my friend must have, I don't know if she blocked her or like deleted the comment or something, and then Pipi decided to hop up in my DMs. And of course, y'all saw the messages at the end of part 1, and she was saying something like, you just trying to protect your vagina. I'm not gonna front, I was a little hot girl. I had a lot of fun in my 20s. When me and Trevor was breaking up, that was my time to date people and see what life is about, okay? And let me tell you, my pussy golden, okay? All right, I was the high of the high, the most elite. All right, so don't even fucking play yourself, bitch. Like, you over here messing with these whack ass dudes from Brooklyn, and I was talking to professional athletes and actors and rappers or whatever. Okay, and don't mistake me, like, I wasn't giving it up to all of them, so don't even play yourself. But at the end of the day, I'm not ashamed of who I was, and I lived my life because that allowed me to settle down with my husband and not have to worry about what else is out there. Okay, but she wants to say, oh, you just trying to protect your vagina and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you mad whack. Like, y'all sent this stupid ass message to my husband trying to break up a happy home. Oh, so she go, what message? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Really, I'm asleep, because that is just so sad that you're gonna sit here and deny it. What are you talking about? What message? Really? Anyway, oh, you're just trying to save your vagina, blah blah blah. Like, she just kept talking about, like, me dealing with guys or whatever, like trying to call me a hoe. She's just trying. So I'm just like, and I'm just telling him, like, yo, you're mad whack. Like, leave my friends alone. Like, y'all did me dirty. Like, I don't bother y'all. I don't talk to y'all friends. So, like, I kept saying stuff like that, and she kept trying to bring it to, oh, you're a hoe. Like, you just blah blah blah, whatever she was saying about me. I started getting really irritated. And at this point, I'm like, you're not about this life, okay? Like, let me tell you, I'm not a fighter, but I will fight you. And if I lose, I will fight you till I win. I'm not scared, and I'm not all talk. Like, I will, again, pull up. I will buy a flight to New York. I know where you work. I know where you live. And I will see you face to face, and you could talk about my vagina all you want. And I told her that. And then all of a sudden, her story starts, oh, you so ghetto, and no matter how much money you have, you ghetto. Why you keep talking about my money? Do you think that I'm rich? So I really think this is, like I said, they was trying to extort money out of me, because I really think that they just thought like they just thought that I'm rich. Like, they just think that I'm rich or whatever. And on top of it, like, you and I told him, like, I never met a girl that's so concerned with what another girl's vagina does. Like, what does this have to do with anything? This has nothing to do with anything. Like, and at the end of the day, you think I sat here and told you stuff that you're gonna use against me? I'm an open book, sweetheart. Like, I'm not ashamed of anything that I have done in my life. So you trying to use that against me means nothing. So once I started telling her, like, bitch, like, I will pull up. Like, I'm not scared. I don't care. But you keep talking about my vagina. Like, let me show you what my vagina could do. All right, how about that? And she switched it. Oh, you so ghetto. No money is gonna buy you class, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, you know, I don't know how it ended, but at some point it finally ended, you know. But we just went back and forth. And I think that finally made these people unfollow my friends and, like, stop commenting on their stuff. I think they just probably was tired of me too, because, like, we was sending, like, paragraphs on paragraphs to each other, like, and I kid you not, and she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna keep liking your friend's stuff, okay, and I'm gonna keep bothering you about it. I'm gonna keep cussing you out every single time. I will embarrass you because you look pathetic, okay? I'm like, bro, like, you don't even have to ask me. I've been unfollowed your people. I've been left them alone. Why are you in my, you look whack. You're whack. Like, it's not even that you look whack, you are whack. Okay, whew, had to get that off my chest because that was crazy. Yeah, but essentially, on top of it all, if you think about it, your girl Annie was the one that told me about that, because the only way that I knew that they commented under my friend's picture was because Annie sent me a screenshot. Messy ass. They was blocked, so I wouldn't have known. And my friends, my close friends, they're not messy like that. They know the situation. I'm pretty sure they just would have left it and not said anything to me about it, because they probably didn't know that I blocked them, and they probably didn't know that I wouldn't have seen the comment. They probably just would have assumed I would have seen it anyway and just left it alone. And the fact that they didn't answer, because they don't answer them, they don't talk to them, they ignore them, they probably just thought, like, it was like whatever. And last but not least, this really has nothing else to do with Gaga and Fifi, because I think at that point, basically, I don't know if they did stop talking about me finally. I think the thing is that I definitely never brought them up again to Annie, and I feel like I actually mentioned to Annie a few times, like, because I would see her post them on their story, and I would be like, oh, you hanging out with your best friends, or, you know, I would be like very I don't know if it's passive aggressive or whatever about it, but I was just like, oh yeah, you hanging out with your best friends, huh? Or something. And you know, in the beginning, like she would still keep like saying like, I feel like messy stuff to me, like more so like saying like, you know, like they're not my friends like that, like, you know, we just whatever, like, you know, like really trying to shrug it off. But I think at some point it just became like, I know that you're lying, you still consider them your friend, they still call you sis, you know, like y'all still, you still call him bro, you know, like y'all still friends, like we don't need to talk about them no more, because like I'm not stupid. And at this point maybe you do realize like you need to stop talking to me about them, and hopefully you stop talking about me to them. But whatever, that was all of 2018. I think it was like the beginning of January 2019. I believe that, or maybe it was still the end of 2018, I don't know. But I know that Teta definitely, it was months later, and Teta definitely reached out to Annie and was asking Annie, like telling her that I ignored her text messages, and you know how basically she's caught in between of this feud or whatever it is that me and Kaka and Pipi have. And she was just wondering, how is it that me and Annie are still friends and still close friends, but me and her couldn't be friends and make it work? And apparently they had like 2 conversations about it. Annie made it seem like that just wouldn't like let it go. I don't know, my whole thing was just like, this is months later, you know, like why am I still a topic of conversation? Like I just cannot understand this at all. At this point I do know that Teta must realize that we're not friends no more. I know that she blocked me. I don't even know how. I think somebody tagged her in something and I wound up just clicking her page the other day, and I noticed that I was blocked. Hey, all good for me, because I don't even need to be looking at your page anyway. Let me see. Gaga and this is the karma that I wanted to talk to you about. Apparently I found out through the grapevine that Gaga, I told you Gaga and Pipi, they had a baby together and they each had their own babies, and they was doing this thing called life or whatever. Apparently, well, back in the day when we were friends, I remember Pipi calling me crying all the time about how Kaka was cheating on her and all this stuff. And I mean, she stayed with him, that's on you, boo. Like, I'm not judging, that's y'all relationship, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not like y'all. I don't care to break up happy homes, dysfunctional homes, stupid ass homes. I don't care to do that. That's not me. If you want to vent about your man, I'll be here to listen because I'm your friend. That's that. But apparently he used to cheat on her all the time. The gag is that homeboy had another baby on her. Okay, like that is what I heard. I want to say, I don't know if that's true, but somebody sent me pictures. I'm not even gonna say who, but they sent me pictures, and Kaka wound up getting another woman pregnant. I don't know if he was still with Pipi. I don't know if they was having a break, or if they broke up, or they was rocky. But I do know that that baby is not that much older than their baby together, and that's karma, because now obviously they're not together. Well, from what I was told, and I'm telling you, I swear I did not ask. Even when I was told the information, I was just like, let me keep it moving. I don't even want to discuss it. But you know, since I'm being messy and I'm telling y'all the story times, and I'm telling y'all detail by detail of what went down in my life of these asshole people who bullied me, basically, I'm just gonna tell it all. I don't care. It is what it is. But yeah, he had a baby on her, and that's what they get, you know, like y'all relationship didn't work out, that's karma. And I'm pretty sure other stuff probably happened. If it didn't, karma is still coming to fucking bite you in the ass. I stand by. I didn't do nothing wrong. Y'all saw the messages, y'all saw the conversations, y'all saw everything, you know, like, and y'all kept coming for me, y'all kept bullying me, y'all kept like worrying about me and talking about me, like. And now, yes, I am bringing the situation up. Yes, I am being messy and talking about it. But at the end of the day, I'm still not using y'all names. I'm still not really talking about y'all, because I'm talking to a camera. Y'all want to listen, y'all can listen, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not like literally sitting here like actively thinking about you guys. Like after I say what I say on here, done. Like, I don't ever need to talk about this shit ever again in life, you know? And I'm just literally telling you guys a story about my life. It's not really like me trying to be messy, you know, like y'all call it what y'all want to call it, like I don't care. But it's not really me trying to be messy. It's just I'm just here telling y'all like what happened in my life and how people like are fucked up to me. You know, it's not really about y'all, it's really about like me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to me, that was karma right there. Like, you know, and I feel, I honestly, when I was told what happened, I actually told the person, I feel bad for PP. I feel bad that Kaka ruined me and PP's friendship. But at the end of the day, when I think about it, I'm happy that happened, because all the stuff that PP was saying about me and like talking shit, oh, your vagina this, and like you're whack and you're ghetto and all of this stuff, like I feel like deep down you wasn't my friend. If you felt like that about me and you could say that about me at any point in time, even if we're not friends, I just feel like you always felt like that about me. So I'm happy that Kaka brought that out of you, because it's just like at the end of the day, you always felt like that about me. You just was putting on a fake ass smile in front of me to be my friend for whatever reason. I don't get it. You know, I've have fallen out with other people, and I don't sit there and talk shit about them afterwards. Like, I just don't talk to them. I don't talk about them, and that's it. And that's really what it could have been. And that's what I expected it to be. But of course, y'all messy, you know, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, it's a very, very big learning lesson for me, and I still have a lot to learn when it comes to friends and friendships and stuff. Like, I can make friends so easily, but I think seemingly deep down inside, all these people have ulterior motives, and I don't know. Now I'm just sitting here talking. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I guess really being invested in this stupid ass story, this messed up story of my life that I'm just so over, and I never ever want to talk about again. I literally don't even want to say the word caca or pee anymore, or even teta anymore. Annie, if you are watching this story, girl, you know, let me tell you something. I knew that you was messy from the beginning, although I still loved you and we still was friends for a while. You definitely kept doing some things throughout the years afterwards that I felt were like, for lack of a better term, shady. And I also just, like, you know, when I just keep thinking back to it, I just can't get the fact that you kind of acted the way you acted in this situation, you know, like just reposting that YouTube video, you know, talking shit about them to me, because it's like, obviously that means you're talking shit about me to them. And even if you're not talking shit about me to them, it's just fake that you were talking about them and then you hanging out with them and calling each other bro and sis, like, you know. And maybe I shouldn't even be worried about that, because that's y'all friendship, you know. But if I see something like that, it makes me feel like I can't trust you. And like I said, there was a lot of other shady shit that was done throughout the years, and you know, it sucks that we got to this point, because we never really got a chance to talk it out. But I started falling back, and then, you know, I just feel like it kind of got a little bit messy, and that's where we are right now. And it's very funny, because it's actually like played out like now as I'm even telling these stories. Like, me and Annie's relationship kind of like fizzled down the drain. I'm pretty sure after this story time comes out, I'm about to be blocked, but that's all good. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm grown. I am a whole ass mom to 2 beautiful little girls, and me telling my stories is not necessarily be messy. I want people to learn from it, you know, like look for, like, read the comments, like, you know, like even in the comments, like people are dropping gems in there, you know what I'm saying. And also, I guess, like, whatever, it's for your entertainment, you know. But I am going to leave it right here. I have so many other crazy stories about my life. I am finito with this one. Don't ask me shit else about these motherfuckers, okay? I am done. I don't want to talk about it no more. Don't ask me nothing. I'm done. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends. Check out my other YouTube channels, The Saints Family, The Saints Family 2. I have an ASMR channel if you're interested, Trev and Leesa podcast. I am doing it all. Shop beuniqueshop.com, SHOPPE, shop goodieboxstore.com. Listen, I'm a mom and I have to make ends meet, so obviously I'm a businesswoman. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I got a lot of businesses going, and it is what it is. I'm gonna promote them all the time. All right, I'm done talking. All right, bye. Thank you guys.